Mwanyai kukuna yensu enya ase keke no so wase hoda ye beko so akire mamamfo so atede beko so nyina ase enti anwumre nso yasan so ababie top 103.1 eba correct and the 27th of March 2024 and then Wednesday adum Nyankopon aboye ho ban de ahode ne nkwade ache yen etiam fast dan yen munyamba ne din yen kasampa otumfo Nyankopon yeda wase won kwane ahode a wode ache yen nenso kakrakra na wotwi ekwa wieye kakrakra bosumi so ekwa wieye edina mankwa ahode no adum asam ya ahode ne nkwama ne da so etiase da so ho se de etie bi enmi se be yeye se match we anye ya epuba eti mi sese de etie bia ne ma be yi abusia from the senator na Jim Perima adum ni ahwe ye enti me da meeting kwam. Yes, I am the only senator on radio meeting from the top man matna say e de final point you me dey e bro e be so da ji se non crabo meeting me dia ma kwabna owusu agiman the governor and then some hopa na ebeka bi nso na ya cheche bi mu nso de akire wo Nelson Dafia Makpo edi na sem ko dan court san penifo se patapa pietu e de mra na ewro eti court nka bi ma no se de be ya mampani Akufo-Addo ministers yakọ parliament no ili akire kra speaker tu safo agunu botum ko Supreme Court abona sem na gu nsem be na Supreme Court gina so bo ne nsem tugu ye ibedi mu nkomo ibedi san nkomo ni nyina na face ya hwe segreme edan a yesisi agu ho ye Ghana fo sika na ye de asisie ye mau drone view of ye dan na osekrafim se ye si dan se ye guguram gu baabi keke teacher fo nya baabi na prison officers nya baabi na police fo kra si bia mo dan sisi omu fi sisi abonten Ghana fo de abonten se ke ha kokomremre da kuman ehimfa Ghana fo gu abonten saa ni ye sit down the Ghana fo si esika sit down gu ho edan gu ho pro yes ya banse ba bia adunu de wontimi nti no okope private person bi de na bam minority si da bi ibedi sankomo na afia hwe na de mu nchechiri mu nyina so ye de amawo na asemampani Akufo-Addo jeje nyumbi atuma ne bire bi atwam no e ma ne betu bi amane na do something before you die jeje do something mampani ampa na no yete di kwen na DCB ko so post ni atade mu ye kan papa si hwe a akobe ko so atena but that's e kwa wiasa aka akra die do something before you die akra na ni abrepa we odbaju sisi yati se Ghana Revenue Authority Doctor Amisha Dai say de mampani say ye akra kotena fie mampani apam no na yes oba no odne bae no so twam sister o ei very fast asia kokra una da kokra dia da je say de wotu yi na shada eji no so ye be de hu nkomo na ya hwe said the ensem no enso esi etie na ye de munchiri mu nyina so e de abrew na maminkwe said the eniamasi course ma enei omo nkoye investment etika mu se Bank of Ghana for omo so etiti atua nam krum ko jaba wutim penifo awodo wom e chese da bi esika kam kroma so osika kam na wantiemu a odne saa na ye nam wan na chire din ko kan esi etie nipa miensa enipa etie o maka no wo henso awu hu o mo enti ha de osika na wa ntiam a akire din sika nkrofo nya kakra bi DKM eno kra na akwakoye strong political campaign edina jese yabade enyi bi kakra bi DKM ni etimi ye list bo ho na the whole bunu nyina akohwe mu no omudi nim na so na list bo ho se fene say papa no kra de say watua nkrofo ka but ne whole list ne bo nyina no bunu fo mo afiri tachima mo afiri abehwe obi aba ne din nim nanso nkrofo din ho with account numbers si atua o mo ka nkrofo din with account numbers endi kro de osika kwatika ba bi ne wantiam a edne saa na ye nam wa na akire din endi na o mo so tiem a chese o mo so kasa enya asem ketwa ne nyina ye nsem a ewukurum na arahosem bi enso abeto dwasisi e mayemfa ntwam se yese chichiwre akra kumase kwantimpo no so no police for a omo nso ekwakoboa aboambambo atimi akonya accident amemu miensa afam ewu police for the statement aba echese eyarehosem kese pa omo akonya accident police for miensa amrum ho a omo firim nti ebrepem no omo de wo mudin ne omo yibeba san se de Ghana amame ne nhye tie nti no omo ba abusua amane anche no akina police for the nchimo pa ebetinya ba nti arehosem a eno so abeto dwa chiwre ewo eye Accra Kumasi highway no so na accident na si yema police for me ensa de yesi o ma nyame dia eno eye asema eno so aba beto dwa ye de tumanim ene ye transe a NDC MPP for eba na ye di nkomo na ansa no beba no na ya ka ye de da kire ya adwene kura wi kura over mamu akwaba
mejoso
na apomboko de
nyame adom kakra Ghana de nyame ne hwe oman nan kasa de odi ani so hu bia odi mom
oman nan kasa ntimi hwe
the oni hwe de umetimi hwe the Ghana have enough resources but we say say ya kanifo no omuni adbadaye
emayen
timma ematimamufo timma bia ni ho a mo matimamufo omubotomu no omu ye yonko a uze say almost fight for allowances.
Yeah.
Parliament fight for allowances. The you stand face can be more no kodi. The omudi nyina achi no. This almost say teachers pay say no mo de mo. Ba wo ko de tamasa mo mo twitwi de mo mo. Sanati.
Nti o man de agya yankopon de kurukura.
Nyame Ghana de o da sori e nyame. Wonu say won anadu o bia police ni mi gya ba bi da.
Ya jibi ba de edura nyimra omu didi moto but ya na me hu ba bi omukọ edura nyimra bo nso omu saso na moto
ni moto ni ko police station omu di ko nam kuru hifa hu so omu nam
say ya
omu fa efiri omu form police unit wa no omu be fa New Town no omu fa Kwasili Accra Central no omu fa a police quarters no ma dispatch omu ko police stations ehu omu bi
because me de ya me hu so omu bom yo bo nse no
no eye fanfe ya me hwe ya betwamu ye ne yakro no fanfe bibia ni ho amu protectite ye de atukwan Dubai omu city closing just say suburb closing points point now they enter bia be pie no please curse enti woti bronu bi so na wo pie afia wo pie ya na ye busa say wo hene wo firi hin na ate hin wo go number na police car ni diwatia so be wura fie na wo se
ho na
ate no busuo nkan no wura ho omo chi omo nya ohwe omo ne ko police station no mo akotena ho de oto no wonum kofi no ohwie bia no ohwie bia ma wo ma wo na ade chia no oja eto miensa no bechew but that day the punishment ni say ye ma wo na kofi no su mu odu take wonu madam bi omo chi ne sa na ona no adechi aso so obekọ aduma na adechi a okọ aduma no ai bobo ndi ofre aduma no say asem ato de o de da wada say enti oman no adechi na adechi wa enyame the cities are not protected the towns are not protected we don't understand preventive security
dampare ba ye de police visibility ne de ma ekoso
the ono dampare de obo modern say or prevent crime from the scratch mintimi kika bebre or prevent crime no baby free ban and say what do
osisia no
na say preventive in the presence say police presence in the night near that ni wo obi aka to say wo be tell tu kwan na do pa wo be ba wo nam musa hwila
ese kwa the barriers no yiri ye free kwa mu ni ada
barriers hu hia crime preventing you don't need barriers private preventing no ye baby a crime free baby bopo nti na oye ho no wo sending nkofo nti wo hyase a na atemo na adoa ye yimo fili ho. That's what he's doing. And na aboa ne saa de a say my police ni magina no nkwachi obi de ni ho eni baby a te eni ho na ma memfa kwan so na me on behalf of TMG na ye mo yako
police for
deepest condolences are where ya say obi nyeso ko we on adwuma o ma adwuma okosmo man no bo ho man with the intent of goodwill no losing life there enya there easy me sa ema abusuafo no so yako say o ma hwe o mo de hye obi wa o mo nipa sebi me semeka o mo nipa mu a wa abusuani mu anu no bibia on e friend ko dobra asema ba se bra pesika bra ye ko we yale se ni nyina ejina ni plan ni pa so behwe na ono na efrim ndi ye mabusua na yakọ ya but me bompa ya sinya me nsunsi o manamu.
That's right.
Ye say dupon tutu na di fochi we di dupon fufron san de be sia na ma ona bibia ntimi nkoso but me woni e ma kakra bi seglomi asen aka
so ne enko yan
areho Seglemum say omu here $150 million from completion. Ya ntimi anye. Ba ebe yetime nya $400 million akosi cathedral. Cathedral
ensi nwe.
Esa me kama. Ya nya national cathedral hall. Man hall. $400 million. For the president foundation be.
Foundation here.
Fine. Ana unu foundation. Ko have be a foundation is say yet two near the pillars SCC near feeling where the hole na da ho foundation be there the two amna abon ho ka $400 million but the president will tell you say oh yes he can go finish his agreement and nipa betina. Let's be realistic media bi hu aso da kakraka esiwa na mra ho pa
ade
check the hours aso da na use it will shock you say I saw dan kakaka ne suo no throughout the week no ye use no wo dia die be kwa solid ka ho a ye use no only 20 hours per 20 hours o week na ye wo about 168 hours wo mu a ye use no only 20 hours a ya boka me solid de wo kuma se ka ho ya boka almost 20 billion sidan nipa ndem ye fa nya hwe ye ba solid just one day enumre ni akọ 2 hours and one no ifanya hwe our development no sila na akachi enu bi na president yen cathedral ye kosi dansi wo na empty ye mfanya hwe ye mfanya conference ye mfanya hwe
ye ni ma ebre cathedral ni ma wo ya cathedral si ni entimi sinwie ni ewie cathedral ya ofa ni ma wo msa nya
sa be example be
Bible museum de nkofo efra mo no ne aba ye wo ni ma
Bible museum be ubetuma Bible museum at Israel ala
ba se de aye de
uko photocopy Isaiah scroll no na de abahana you can there are certain things you can never do omo ka Bible museum na mese what to coin that uko hwe Israel for ne mo ma hye scroll ye twere Moses de tablets ni ade ade na wo ho no how can you beat them?
See and can see between them.
No, when you original,
you can be there, you can join them.
How do you join them? When you original, you can attract people. The originality of museums, you know, and the function. Original, how original it is. Now, DNA or no, a bini baby. But you can't get the originality of your museums. So, it's a Santimai museum. It's a Ghana museum. This is a Tetequashi, ni fear no one. A original. Unya replica baby. What I say? Until you get to that point, into one way and Namzo consent, they don't know what they are talking of. Or can someone say to brainwash Ghanaians? Na seglemisio, say. Na Yatimiana and Skasako to hold. You don't have vision. What I say? Sa idea say when the year mean to us like this.
But and yes, I ban because this time or pay private partnership and a private.
You will skip it.
I
don't private person. You will skip it.
You can't wait.
$400 million. $400 million. When we need $150 million.
Can I use you that?
I didn't also go use size card. I call Hokra. What I say? I didn't know go use size card to fund that when you have unfinished business. Ubayari. O say obusia fie ebu ukosi the na priority wala se
ofa so we dey we no na
me call Amishadai replacement na enwo
mama no
Juliet ACM madam what's what is 61 so why is the government thriving on constitutionality
but say constitution is man ko ma letimi ma obi contract
why do you do contract I didn't think the constitution say contract because it's illegal to employ the person and when you employ somebody illegal then you have to go on contract and nya omo ye below 60 am be handle Ghana omo adi atwam I didn't think the framers of the constitution ka say 260 there are a lot of factors with this sister I know I am re or with speed the speed of reaction is slow. What I say, would you win you cry? The way now, me handle. Now, who do Makoma, mammy, say, when you know the way handle. Who seems so soft. That's why the framers say, do that time, the agility.
Any Ghana problem.
I think I'm
the agility for the dozen.
And why should they have? I think I'm about that one. Because who shall the vim, the agility, the intensity, the projection would the year old man a different from say would the 50-60 going, you know. You are not sharp as you are.
No, yeah.
What until the frame of the constitution say, would this sister, a man got refi, what you want me? Name more fresh blood in any day and take over. But the president wants to still to go on contract. Why contract? Say, at the end of January, na a year who near Sema, why do you go on contract? Intimacy, president, when you on Van Cocraphone being canon, when we are performance questionable. No for being canon. No one say, oh, mine. What I say? Orika, the president, a canqua, the Wyke was ordered the car. Wyke, somebody in the car, about 62 million Ghana. Can they say in sushi, no matter you? Or maybe I make a crowd the car. A candidate, Papa Bina, or Alatani Bina, or Crasina, maybe your Cobom, Cotadia, or Sibisi, my maybe Pierre, and Nadako Queen or say, Papa Jimai, a candidate. What's my Yalata? Me dear me dear. What's your child? Coco's can't blame me. Here the young man I was a cocoa bread. What I say? Institutions they need the money so that they can run the institutions. Why couldn't come with 62 million? What the a friend said, ready for the electricity for car, a banker. A napku, a cow. Teachers if we almost say, or more one sister, or more new account was some 2019. Why? Deliberately where you were and now the away and your upper. Meanwhile, appointing ministers are so yes, so Tiswa, a go car you been Sike Binya 6 billion every year. What is Suba 54? Sike Binya, the 2 or more mine. Or percent you might contempt a contempt. Omuya in the IMF 110 IMF. Mama 88 what IMF in the Zoom was on the same. Of Amadasi na Menkwa Humanasu Ninkomo tell Emra CCA Nana Obribuahin. Abronye Chambers. Nana Madre.
Yeah, man, Johnson.
Na ye grunti say.
Oh, nyame abawoma.
De nyame ase. Owura dafia makosai da imrahye bejani. E de asem court ne court abona asem na to agu. Nana asem no wa ni kakra kire se de tie.
Say on the asem court no yeah application for injunction. Application for injunction no omo frey no ono no na lawyer sumi ho normally say file application for injunction ya ma date so even also straight say ono file ya man date no ono no wama ya man date kurampo na say date to be fixed. I don't have process and there will be a means to serve you. It is all my corner or my lawyer, but speaker the lawyer by. No court in Burgua. That is all. The idea of you. No, I some you know.
And Tina, what make a crab you already a jam rally and new papa. sɛ wode asɛm kɔ court na sɛ yɛama wo date sɛ ɛnɛ bra na asɛm no yɛnni na sɛ woama a woasɛm sɛ ɛde o sɛ nyɛ do no yɛbu agu so.
Yeah, the court can one look at the processes filed. Papers na ma file no. Court no betimi ahwɛ process no wa proceed. What I say? Court no betimi atwam warrant of prosecution. What I say? The court can also adjourn it depending upon the circumstances and the facts.
Wohwɛ na asɛm na wɔde kɔɔyɛ na case na nkasa hu ni sɛn saa asɛm na
o ma twam with the metimi aka ho bibi kakra bebo ana o munya ntwa na Johnson na o ma twam
o ma bona asɛm na gu ntu o ma twam.
Well, are you sure say asɛm na mu ana injunction na nko
the Supreme Court dismissed the application for injunction against
President. There's an injunction nko ana nya asɛm na mu. Because asɛm na mu dia nka letimi comment on it.
Okay.
But injunction ni betwam asamba no de da so wo nti me ka no wan hwe ni ya be na be brofo abe content.
Okay. Enti we na ya bo application egu no. The next steps na ye dey biem.
So when mother ama they can go on with the vetting.
Okay. Nenti na asem na da ho na no so no ye be ne den.
Oh, I said, lawyers will tell you, sir, there are some cases in injunction, you grant here. No, basically, one winning. Injunction, you refuse, not about 90% is well issued. No, if you look at the release, no, my person may comment on it, no comment here. Okay. But, to me, the man can show, without prejudice. Normally, I can without prejudice. I said, paying from Pamacho, as or Becassa. Non paying for or campaign from Pamacho. Canana, young crano. O call for Robert Johnson. Now, Benny Suma, or a Nansu Catawani, Nansu Biba. I just said, we should keep permission of Nansu because so Baby Gunsu, Ober Johnson. Now, you see, if you look at the relief, no. If you look at the relief, no, he's saying, sir, so we a minister. Now, you say, we are a minister for information. Maybe you say, as a minister for works and housing. As a sober for that. So,
yeah.
So, we are minister so that. Maybe appoint to minister and so convert him. So we are minister of baby. Maybe the work of baby for deputy minister of baby. Maybe you'll be a minister of state and also so convert him. And for these are some of the reliefs are now open. And you know, we're saying Madam to also vet no until so magic too. So these were some of the reliefs, no call for injunction. To restrain the speaker, say until say, baby dinner say the baby. I don't need interlocutory interim. Say we, in fact, I bronze so. No corner, no court, no so. No. So the substantive case now some ban of the abaso.
Okay, it's not
person make any prejudicial comment.
Mato, the Sabre court na boss injunction application we not to no. Ebema kwan say speaker be san frɛ parliamentarians na san ba na wa ba approve ministers na ma president ana no de court no ntimi nka ne saa.
No, you know na application no the speaker no ma ben to aso nye vetin no. So say kwani mu da ho. Nti the ba to aso aye adwuma ne be ye no.
Parliament is so sorry.
Parliament, sorry, it's a parliament, waiting for parliament in terms of emergency. And I'm one. Yeah, in terms of emergency. A bit my friend. But no, actually, some of us are not comfortable with these things happening. Not via the mafia or court, no. It's a legal issue. Into a court, ebia eboama ye nyina yesua bibi fim what ya
yeah
but yes the president and LGBTQ no yeah when we do that it is not good. Why? You see obi akokot and a bill na could do president ko sign bill na many imagine yem no or sign ya undermine case na the court no what you say or as already namagu paso na nam no so what to ho sradie so when you make no and case na sky ni Amanda when dia kono ni na ko wie say Benin of president was the presidency is saying simple the divya after there na sense I think it is the presidency can a person because the chief justice speed the mafia party you can use the same speed to do the two cases, you know, and they can even consolidate Richard Sky you can consolidate the two cases and you can use the same speed to do that.
Yeah now you intend to play free ho
no case be about 24 April na the call ye the client here kwamba for abronye na me lawyer but the call say first lady and second lady nyina no say she can ye piama man for under article 71 they don't qualify and I rush ya so some the call so they consolidated the two cases nka na no me kwa the judgment na no 22nd March. Nobody has 24th April.
Okay.
So the two cases can be consolidated and speedy determination. So we don't see how the presidency in sign. Yeah. I mean, I don't see how people are not. Mampany on sign, Mampany them on sign, Mampany no sir. When you have these applications pending before the court, President Asanya, because the impression without Sir President Kawai and not going to be assigned, and that may influence the judges. So, yeah, training can you not man for Chief Justice, Chief Justice, that's all, Yavintem, Kinjabum, Manakontem, no one consolidated, then couple, no baby, no question. Then the president, the on sign. But I think that President can on sign. Let's look at the speaker. Nasama or said no something be there to kill a letter. And the speaker the bull free. The letter was addressed to the clerk of parliament. The letter in question was never addressed to the speaker. So the letter was addressed to the clerk of parliament. All your lecture, you see you and your clerk. The internet is speaker, Jemana.
And at top radio.
I know you are the speaker. Parliament is there. President is there. Multimin can say law. President to sign.
Parliament says speaker and head. I know clerk. I mean, so much and I see.
Yeah, but you know. Only until you talk about clerk, he felt that the clerk was acting on the frolic of his own. He felt that the clerk, he felt. So, we don't know how to create the impression, so that command clerk, I said, no, they're British speaker. NBC for statement, to be a issue, say, and other the case in my friend and tentem. Question, kodan. Difficult in a Ibio. It is not fair. Let me be very honest and sincere with my brothers and sisters in NDC. But in the was a section.
Nana, I better say, you say, Oje Brena, our boy in Chichimuka, Credasipa.
Okay, my boss.
Nana Obribuahi, a former deputy general secretary, the man, NPP, Amanu Kuno, Abronia Chambers. Ena yene na din koma ono so wabo enchichi mu kakra nti se de se de waka ne se injunction no de court abatu egu nti no minim se speaker be sanso afre se mema ne mbae mu nsamre na yenka jangu na afi mampani nya ne ministers mfom nko ye adwuma
the issue at stake no nyese everyone say
Dafia Mako
the Dafia Mako no or interested in the case bia o posturing I thought that I said we see your ho no wo ye fa LGBT no say case bi o court nti e na wo nsan e no mo share that the case ni court no mo so ma influence say case bi o court the parliament ntimi nye den
approve
I don't think also one call for they say for the judgment. They are not interested in the judgment. They want what we call the prima facie. Omo pa assembly dey ejina so. And omo nya sa assembly dey a counter president. Say who say meanwhile president Supreme Court does not interpret bills. Everyone want say oro bi boy here ka say president you know what team na we near daddy. Supreme Court they have nothing to do with bills. Until say ubeka na wodi atudwa no na wasan no na ayemra no Supreme Court intimi interpret any of parliamentary bills emra no mon chirichim and the president also man yemra say ometima ko chirichim wo so say wo twa ma yere
na ba bia na nso kan ya na me yi ni so se senka sa fire na yede mama mpani no ke yemfa Supreme Court to say asem no mo de aba no mo nyene ntente na fia makodi ya ntente
wonu so okay wo betimi aka once was baby was say wo ka say na me gu nsuo katwani onu asem wo kan is it do we have the capacity onu wo kan asem wo say in order not to prejudice the case into where you osre you can't force the Supreme Court they determine what they can do their law eti no mo elma judgment constitution is almost judgments no yema ne nyamra any directive emma any proceedings either in court or either in law enforcement intimate sereno and you be want to defend it men for so who defend it was aka say clerk of parliament you know clerk no it can work on this room you be juadi o ma clerk bi emfa letter no throw letter ko ba bia on pe bia no on hade the terms of reference the quite fast to far omaduma no they can never work on them they work under the speaker and do the letter come obi ba o the letter na ma ne papa
especially a letter from presidency now se me amatena say
we see emra omo time omo wie bill no wo ho na eba wo si ma me yemfa ma ho wo person what say is infringing on the constitution you are fighting against constitution baby ne the executive secretary of the president or say second because you are attacking the due process of the constitution say ye wie bill a informal president wo se me informal o informal me mi asante to bill
e da so
ba e bi obi ya nyabotre obi ye na nya o man ti na nkoso no obi nye na nya ye mpese be ka the kura na kire no se me ma ye mfa bill ne ma presidency
fancy wo kura
ye mfa nkohin
twen Ottoman na parliament wa
one the man kwan say he determine when and how bills should be available to
the secretary to the president.
The powers go and read the powers of the secretary to the president or your president and semu or now and some of your president your man kwan say only determine when the bill should come to him. The law does not allow even the president to determine when the bill comes to him. And tin maybe why we are santi be to what yan kan tire no only right to do those things. And mesre and maybe why ye develop as a country ye ma ani na wo fan ntimi mo man no ntimi nkoso o man no ye ne apu
mate
ma me mfa we na me mfa menansi fo
ye
victims of a friends akosombo African presidency obesi da mo obra a company be friends Fair Sky Group company ultimately 300 president ultimately 300 was so African obesi 100 oh and then you go hu ani masasa government asimasi almost a year ago obi September 23 and honorable Okujeto Ablako Adaroma otimi see 300 mom baby die ya tena wa ye nhwama private company who say to da obi ka aban no wasema na na mesere mo nye nimguase o maka mesa ka bi mo nye nimguase ansa na ofura akonya no so enima bi ho ya e kyese he doesn't care about the people of the country nipa da bontin nsu ofa nipa up to now afina ye be se ali aso be football form esidan mom obi mobilize okuje to abrako one individual otima encompass the government otima mobilize esi 300 who go see bia mo as 100 alabraka medase
menso medas papa Ghana mampani nana adodanko akufuado sɛdeɛ hɔbi okuma se ka kyerɛ me no ɔse wɔ no de agye sɛ ade akye ame aka sɛ mampani afiri akonya so ansa no aka sɛ papa no wayɛ ade anasɛ wanya sɛ gidi ɔwɔ ne mu na dɔ wɔ soro paa na deɛ de bia na me ka kyerɛ governor no ɛnɛ me meti akonya me ka asɛ mampani akufuado sɛ mesɛ no agenda 111 ne nyinaa ne sɛ wansi kura mpo a la general hospital ne de onsu ɔma de ma wɔ no ansa no wakɔ na nkwa ese una bugu ya na ati echi una bugu ya na wansi enti agenda 111 ni nyina anye ye kura mpo a la general hospital de papa mesrew si o ma de ma o mansa na abekwa wako endi de bia metena si bia mekoso asrew e ka kire beautiful Rebecca na da Roma one mampani di nkomo a won kan no se me nkrofo no hospital na bugu ye no si o ma de ma wo mo ne hia wo mo abisia top radio 103.1 mpanifo na tena se ba be di nkomo ni nyina ye o man ho adwenwen ene ye behwe dafia makɔ case sɛ de di ho nkomo no ye bi di ho nkomo kakra san so mampani Akufuado leader ewo parliament majority leader Alexander Afenyo Markins was so hwɛ sɛ de enema kɔso ewo ewiase nyina na wo hwɛ sɛ de ewiase na enema enkoyi ni ade na hwɛ mampani Akufuado ani suodi hu ne akanie sunsum a wo kyɛe na boy amache se agi Ghana nkwa asebu Ghana ewa akwa wudu piso a ibidi sa nkomo ne ya se eyampa se de ka se greme no so aban se ba bia dundi o de ma private partners na private person na watimi ahwe a developer CC ama Ghana fo nya ba bia da man no difo chim se enya de on beti sa ansem na se ibidi sa nkomo na afi yetimi ahwe na enne mpanifo a me no mba bidi nkomo ewu fiase no Kafui Amega communication team member NPP ewa hasan so na Adele Ibrahim NDC communication team member e ufiase mpanifo mo akwaba
yani
na Abraham kakra yema na yentu nka mejiri sapo mboko
nyame adom
eda nyame ase Adele
mana me settle ntim pacho wo se me wure mo
ma hu se fe na wo settle nti odi settle mama edi wenkwa Kafui so mu na yeni nkomo kakra na yenhwe yemfa sima kakra bi nte dafia makɔ case ne mfa emfiri ho asama odi court no ene yefre ya ono ankasa no lawyer kra nso ni ho nti court che se masa winti media ho agro nti sa application for injunction no o mabo e de atogu na minti wo sa wo comment wo sansem no
na me da wase na ena nwumre ma memfa top radio fidi kɛseɛ so mfa nkyɛ tiefo ene ahwɛfo ma gemre no mo hwɛ na nwumre mechia me party mo mpanifo ene titu me constituency MP Honorable Abenawase Asare ene nwumre mechia no yenim say stay wakɔ constituency a akɔhwɛ atototo niema nyame nkoso a mo ne ho ban na onfani nsiema yen ne nadwuma pa wo ye wo constituency mu nana ohwe dafia makpo case ya ode call Supreme Court ya eno nti ema speaker ede hold on the approval of ministers no. Nana there was a reason intia ema asem no eko Supreme Court se wo hwe ne kwa wanko Supreme Court ne na yeto asem ne twene ya it should tell you that the purpose to which he wants to achieve no wa achieve we, and that purpose was to give the speaker a
reason to
a body just say home kora be ya adwuma say wenya body corporate ontumi nya adwuma. So it was supposed to give it a legal body. Obetumi di ya adwuma. And the legal body was to file the case in court and then to allow him to say enunti no yentumi approve ministers no. But na ni nyina no na ade baako enti na ma asade we baaye. Ade baako e ma asade we baaye letter secretary to the president actually come a clerk of parliament. Na oshe tonation of the letter no na too harsh. The letter was not even say appealing. Say be a way there yesremo because asemono Supreme Court ntino ma yenhwe but nana in any case say enumpo ebeye adwuma me kai semra levy bae no levy kroya equal Supreme Court but president sent it to the bill whilst the matter was also swimming in the Supreme Court. And in this case, if there was something you wanted to do a bit of consultation on Ansan wa Sentia, you could have indicated that, and then we would have been able to understand what the issues were. The session last week, Mekaino, Oiro in Samu Bibra boom.
That's right.
And say Oshe say Supreme Court and approve your minister see na omodia sorry, and then Oshe the intention was clear. Say they will not go and follow up this case in the Supreme Court because they won't be achieved, no more achieve where we. And if you look at acquiring a Supreme Court to Jinaswa or the ball we need to go yanwa, the main substance say President Amfa and Nipebia must say yenvetio. Of course, that is not true. So it should tell you say a then you bit me any mediator, yes, you bit me actually say the three arms of government and yen parliament, yen so you to me. And now my sorry no say any lobbying being the back behind the scenes for speaker to call say parliament in Simon National. I think say a year under speaker ne powers and I'm a boy. And to say under speaker ne powers the speaker is also doing this to ensure that he will get the president's attention to assent to the bill.
But you say Sabre dear be a speaker so be to me say okay. I didn't hear me Gina so say me ma ya approve mono. Ye few dia mo samra ne bia ya.
Nana we will be happy to hear that, but at the end of the day the NTS speaker yes and say nana the president must assent to the LGBTQ++ bill. And that anti-gay bill no a president ni assent to no. Nana, the question I ask myself ne say enti anye bia no say ya assent to the bill na Ghana yentumi mmo ye ho bara na. We should be, because you see I've always say President Numa Bebrebe awaye no emane mfasa bi we and go down in history as a president that his name will not be mentioned when he leaves power. Because you have said Anglican say enya wo time ena ye be pass it samrano e dia ba be adwuma ha enti ene dia nka you have been handed on a silver platter. Say sign yanko so na akokan ye
yeah
enti nkede na ye wodin wo. Even if people have gone to court like sani ye nimu no the Supreme Court omo chire emrase anameboa bill nso enyanya emra enti Supreme Court no eda emra no akọ chire ase. 2 sawe no on natural canal knowledge no ewo constitution ni mo. But the Emrai Bay no is coming to aid on promotion. Sani ebe yo bi otini be bi opeso promote no so no ono so mra no ebe tumini nati. Enti nana se bio we agitum say ya wo mra ahohiahia wo mudie. And you see these development partners no sa niema we ombeko so ade adi yenya wo. As long as they know that you would want to come to them. I believe that it is high time we will need to look deep into ourselves and then be able to shoot up, because It is our president who said, Ghana beyond 80. This is the time we need to show, say, we will sign and the Ghana beyond age agenda will shoot in. And Tina me feel say, NDC, and I said that film of Power no the court they were looking at one main agenda. The agenda was successful. Now whether Parliament will reconvene to approve the ministers is another question. But the ECOSUI, it is going to affect government business. So I believe that currently, say young call by elections, whatever we will do, we will need to work hand in hand cordially with Parliament and the Speaker.
Yeah.
Because some minority need take one stance. Now we also MPP should take one stance. Then government business into go through. But Nana can assure you say, and then you say you pay to test the president and sign. Now you pay to test majority to a Parliament. Say you fan pass bill. Yeah, I'm telling you, you been more than 2 tests.
Yeah.
Say you two no secret ballot pa. You been more than 2 tests. And more so, we should understand that even in our own party, Nana, when 80 ministers out of 136 stood up openly to say that Yempe Kenuforiata, they didn't care they were going to lose their seats. And TNN say, the Parliament, I should tell you, say, even those ministers who lost their seat would vote. If say you open Kurani, I see Anthony open ya.
Somebody can say the media.
Nana, I'm telling you, see, I see Anthony open ya. I say, Omo force say yan GLBT into more. Even in our in members of Parliament, you been more than half. Because another truth is that uti hey, menu me and uti hey, say trumutu ajumani yempe.
Yeah.
And we should be plain and then be able to tell, say, Nana, enyadia ye bejiatum, Ghana mfuaso. Development partners no, ombeye de call, they will become like a barking dog, omuntumenka. Ombeye de are ombeja umwiato because they know that we have what they want. Medase.
Menso medase ebusiafo eye Kafui Amega eye NPP. Communication team member ena motini nkase ne first submission wode aban see dem ye sure say Adele assettle down yenko no na fi ono so emfa da fiama ko Supreme Court case ya ene ye frey ya wa ma enti binum kase de no hwehwe na say speaker betimi agina so na obe kase e approve ministers no an wanya enti okokọ akwa ede ema court say application or the injunction no ya bo e de atogu Adele ma minti wo enso eno ho for the next 10 minutes edi ani.
Yo, no, I did kind Michel.
Major so.
Maybe for you, so Michel. Na, me say, Mra Constitution. Service, you will need here a shamra.
That's right.
Yet, hey, to prefer Muye Mujuma, Mra Muyejuma. Some running you on not. And she said, Brano, be a decided to open over here. Yeah. Show ya Muye. At what time I was over waiting us. And at what time I also interview offer. Show I was at ending 9 o'clock.
That's right.
So, Oba no 8:30. I said, she will end him. Yes, he ain't Shamra. And Moy na Yahoba. Which never me PF studio had a Michelle or Abontino on the Gabin and Michelle with me, Sissina. Wanko Bunang and Jenny Girl and Sam Falaka. That's a Jika Namakwa, police be answering the video with me.
Yeah,
Banana Republic. I make a note as it.
Yeah,
Kinti and Shemra. Yes, Shemra, no, you know. You see, it will be a friend executive, it will be a friend parliament, and it will be a friend judiciary. Yes, a woman me and saying, no, woman hoarding, a pet. Then I tell you, woman me and saying, yes, a woman hoarding. Pet. We check you, I know we are checking, we know we are checking. Into wouldn't need to me say over church. Into one more almost shamran. Yana none more shamran. Woman Diamono. Woman say, Yamma back on your exchequer for the other. President to be here, Parliament in your passo minister, and to know with me, Juma. Parliament and so answer no business car with the baby Juma, as your co executive. I make a letter say, exchequer. na me cannot say judiciary yes interpreti parliament law ni wi a wo na wo tumi a obeti a chiachirem inti parliament ye na amfa a chiachirem aban ni ye na amfa a chiachirem yes o ma ho de ne epe inti na ansa na ombetimi aye adwuma ma na di mu no wo se ntiase etimi ye adwuma na say ye be company na me ne wo ni awol na me no wo 50% mo 50% na ye ba betina say abonkomo a say wo say ni die mba mu
that's right
because me nya vote na me be say me to bibia na me say bobon so bi as company na me nya vote na signature na nka ho a enyeyi ti wo didi matema say nkomo na nkoso
meeting ni kran hwa wo ma
emma so nye dafia mapo ye no sebe enye say bi a me ameti hayadel na me gidi pa say case ni court no e bebu ama ne say ampa you know what do you call it, the president, speaker of parliament, you know, injuncting. You cannot injunct parliament. Constitutional, constitutional culture say you can't. In fact, your cases are handled or mind we more president and Kasakran won't be injuncting. He has immunity.
Yeah.
Or immunity. Won't be injuncting. Or injuncting say. In the performance of President Nejuma, constitutional. To me, or the Ama president is on Yejuma. One example. You say something called state of emergency. Into president, sorry, that could be COVID time. Or say may issue state of emergency. No, be sorry, no court. Or say court in Pamacho. Sadia president in Pesa Oye, my sister also ye. Mom prevent president no from doing it because me jitum pa say COVID na ye can COVID no. And shed in Nipina. No, not your chief president side. And I say, you understand, and they say, Bibian to me because of my move. Indian Cochina, yet to say, yeah, the bill be our president, or say on signing for tax crana, VAT crana, the qua. They say, oh, Michelle, my bregano, my bremicha tax. President will inquire here because can you be cranny here? Oh, man, you can't govern.
Yeah.
Until minor shedder, ama president, you know, some immunity. Sebi or two crano or two as president no o diboni bi na hu say we diboni pai ni mpo still you can't arrest muntimi nche no till nem raso so I am out 3 years pepe after 3 years muntimi nya no hwebio I cannot say
yeah.
Okay, so we have to understand the premise which with Dafiamakbo edisa case no court maybe is in English on beka bibi say sarcasm. Sarcasm.
Yeah.
So we say ya chichiro nsa. Okay, you say ya chichi nsa. You na enta ho. Enu bi ne. Na make am say because the truth of the matter is that ya chichi nsa. The Constitution Article 106 achiro what to do. Constitution akache parliament na wasa omo ye eno mo achiro wo na nado section is ne wasa wo ye. One say parliament na se no mo dwendwen o ma ho. Nyenti say parliament ne say 275 constituency no ade o meti abeka. Ebi a wote dome ebi a me bra penyu ote amasaman ye nyina na ye wo MPs na ebe hia etina parliament nti wo mo kasa ma ye gena nti 275 na efa decision a omo fa decision ma Ghana for na I say the Ghana for na to money because member of parliament no ye yi no constituency omo ti ho no bia no omo no ko yi no nti no wo mo tina se no mo decide say ne pese ye dia yes say fama fa sende Constitution no say wo mandate no say what this idea no become president. We could do president wa president wo nyama miensa obetimi aye. Ni edikan obetimi assign krata no within 7 days or say parliament ma sign monje ni edikan no. Ni etoso mienu president make maka say dey bi sa krata yi mintimi sign na say what decide say on sign ya Constitution say amount 14 days. 14 days no jinjin ho na kire ni nti a won pesa obe sign na fa buy back. Okay, no problem. It say the bill abro. Na so fele say sa document mintimi sign. Ni nti a mintimi sign ne say. Obi a friend Sky e wo court mintimi sign. General catchrom say Sky wo court mintimi sign. What's the problem? Ni make not say. I'm telling you something. The Constitution no. Yes. Constitution actually ni wasa wo ye.
So all right, so sign out
one person will sign. No problem. Constitution in enunti no. One 3 options. 1, signing fako. 2, won't sign amount 14 days. 3, so what decide say 14 days no can still I won't sign you name person will you know a dream be free council of state wa fa kɔma ɔmo no so yɛ ma ɔmo bɛ 30 days na ɔmo bobo mu na ɔmo famra na sɛ ewe ni na ewie na wan sign na ɛba parliament ɛsɛ wunya 2 tests apaase ne nkɔ ayemra wo sign ni o wan sign ni o ayemra maame kan sɛ nti ɛba wɔ hɔ no wo president yɛ injunctive wo from receiving the bill tie ni o ɛyɛ ade bienu signing and receiving is not the same. You say parliament, my parliament in fact krata we parliament be mawa. You say men signing. Pacho presidency omoje krata ma signing. Oje krata na. Parliament for the aba. Yeah? You inject parliament. You ain't me inject parliament and the Supreme Court has shown you that it's not possible. You can't do it. It doesn't make sense. You can't inject parliament. Because a Jumana parliament we inject na and no be answer na can ministers want me. It ministers by 27 mutifie because obi asore or say obeso court. So it's sarcasm. You wanted to tell them it's not possible. Nyamo yan munjaye. Ehumia. Mfaso mi. Mameka say, but in any case, so we say you injunct parliament. Now the parliament say okay, no problem. You per se you call to the contempt of court awasem. Jay. Who do say men sign it? Into which year afi was say okay, medium I'm not in contempt of court because court na injunct will say menji. Assuming say
let an crab buy into me contempt. Let an about
and there be so contempt in say parliamentary kono parliament will be held in contempt because you injunct parliament say mam fanko ma make cannot say but we presidency you injunct will say menje you injunct will say men sign it
the contempt ba anya wo wasem
what is your problem you know what I say okay in any case we there was say we in constitution natural this is na we did na attorney general say mam signing because of ABCDE 4 5 sa letter na bedi to etro e come parliament no na nka wato bo ase 14 days no na wat na se no ya tro letter no fe kama okay modi ade na aba ya ka kire mo se case bi wo say ni ya injunct me se ma mo famba ba me ya injunct me se ma menje maje na mo mintimi sign ni nti a mintimi sign ni se wo say ya twen ma ABCDE ade no mintimi nje na won kasa asem no ma men kan yinti nchiro because you see constitutionally the moment a president na beje sakrata no pe I started take you can't stop the time onyaji ya started take 7 days ni do na one sign ya was what me catch on nti a one sign in 14 days 14 days ni ma ye na yenti won ka e was say utimi catch say a friend saying how do you call it council of state or council of elders and the whole process is 44 days 44 days ni do na one nya ho hia so we need to test a pass nti mana no mposo be pass me make no say because we nya ji yepe what start the process no process ni ultimate stop no once you collect it the moment they receive it the process has begun you can't stop it and no ntina wonje document no not because obi injunct what then president his excellency time na Osaki Dumelovo owie ya Supreme Court jury case na ka say na oye na nche obi ache no me bisa obi ache no awol yeti hai wo so ope wa chedi my friend mere me so ba wonim bo ho ko market koto nyama bra na nnua wache ma awol nondi awol to studio awol so your kitchen wa no so no problem ya koto nyama na yaba sanka me de nyama no ye de nyama no ba na o ka say awol kire me bia kitchen wo yi sanka eniji asemo ka awol sorry ya opentem he ko pot no mo famra gas no mo famra chense wo yi afide me wife abedu a awol na kitchen wo so gas kra asa san na chense no so awura kitchen no fa ikire ha no afa no asaba so chense kra de o na asa mu ahyehe bisa o de me ba twen no ye de agoben no ope wa chedia ana wo pesa jollof rice ne dia wo be kire kwan ya ebenia no cause dem da wenim na do wo na wo se ana wo mre so no enya dia ebesi ba penya ka eni eso okay we dia mayem boaw ye dia ba betu fie nim ka we mpo dia wutimi sane aka che Supreme Court say mun konkowu because Supreme Court omuni tumi o the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana na Ghana for nesete ene ayeti hai Ghana for sore no mka say wo mu mpeni police ni soldier for omodo so sen Intina Kandapa indicated last 2 years, last 3 years. Say, Mr. President, Supreme Court judges, or say, more ya dia ya munsheni. Because every time bia the case ba munina every time bia opposition dia no na atuegu. Na aban dia na afa. No opposition ya atuegu. Aban dia na afa na 90 70 80 sa 8090 na mo ya no. Muntina senjin hu because at a point in time, se Ghana for FA let's say nya de ahye won sa no se me ni awol enya problem na me ni bebra penyi enya problem you say de ba ho na wotina se na wo hwa asem ni na se continuously are some ba ho ni wo say wasem no every time bia e ko one side wasem no every time bia e ko one side e bedum me bi no me ni awol na problem ye mfa ba ho ye bedi no kwan
enti enu nti na dafia makomo so mo hwe ya mo hu se the president ni yenti ne yenso yemfa sa kwan we so
say ye kire no so why I say the win ma ye be kire wo say the win and why I say the win ma make am say win pa say yenti min janto win say say na ye a constitutional mandate the constitution has indicated parliament ni shemra obi ntimi ma betena be bi nka say parliament wo ba be shemra say yenye 5% VAT na mo ye mpene so nti fakoto ye be na buman ye be na bum levy deda ye wo Ghana hani na ye koso president Tanzania wansane na ni court 2020 the constitutional mandate placed on the electoral commission is say to be 7th January swear the president it's a constitutional mandate whether you like it or not. Electoral commission start election process near start election near kotwaba once our process now starting obi ntimi in court and konko injante 1 o'clock 2 o'clock na after easy akacho say election na moye no munjai it's not possible intina na case no court 2020 ajo mahama ka say dey be election ye njintum say ne won't my swear president ya swear no because if you don't swear him there's going to be a problem. 7th January payment crisis.
Mate for anusima menafi
me manusino in basic terms. Why I brought you the issue of Kandapana adeno is to give you a reminder. At then and a sky a bit to me then a case akko 2 weeks earlier. But for damn yentimi and list this case. Then list you. And then so you busan or court or say your personal listener or listener. Journalist no busan say na sky more than your list or so young list. So you are telling us in the face indirectly more catching and say Jimmy for. You can do what you want to do. But you see near no more finish say a dream may be a share to me own. That to me feels no sada no so nyobia.
Me da say there na yem fancy wa say ada to me feels na be say hey akwa bia na yene na woku masetafo na boyi ko military training bae afa kwa ye nyina ya damfo no oni black azara black be yin sa bebo oni kazaro be yin sa bebo na o yare serious ni ko fi ni e ko hwe nti e ko ye na ne so jata ne sen ho boy ba ko hwe ni sa wa boni din so atare ne sen ho no utumi nyina asa wona oda we and decided team carbolic soup samra ye na no nyina ni me say gardener soup no a ene samra sa beda so ye 4 cedis ba se se ne fe champion carbolic soup boa boskin no ban ma enkwada adware empani dware samra kama pantu kodwom na opɛ samra na soup de akofia mo adware a champion carbolic soup I type and say gardener samra no a na body apebi na ne abusua entimi enko yisu Philibert Medical Center ewo Nyameche Junction ombe kata hostel no Dr. Philip Abefi and Wadano was say omo ye general OPD yade bi ha obi afabra especially obi a sebe oyo ba na niema hodo enko yi ewo sebe ahemfie ho no wo so bra awo sem ne ade nyina obehwe etimi aboa ma niema etimi akonkai na bibia koye ede ama wo so manage stress and stress queen wo kruma pa okọ Philibert Medical Center obeboa amanema koyi ediama wo so na machine wadu behim na adi 25 body na me fi bi ewom bia no enso etimi afro mbacho from 0245 464667 na woni Dr. Philip Abefi etimi edi enkomo Samu Spices ene die fie bia se bikum ye wo stew die ho chicken season powder wo sanso na ye wo jollof garlic and ginger de wo rosemary ni nyina bomodi ase o sabetimi akabi Samu Spices wo se yensa ka yesu dem power batteries be strong for car battery MP Easter ensa gas ngum wadi di awie mai bibia awie afo ko boso ne enko aboso asasa e basa na digu papa ko yesu dem power batteries ne kope chloride azide battery de aba ne ebi from 11 plate kope 33 plate e wo ho ne bo no enye din kra aboso kan GCB ya de mu ha e na wo mo ewo top 103.1 ye ko ye next topic ne eso a leader ewo parliament edema NPP anase majority Alexander Afenyo Markins na wose wo hwe sedi wiase eniema basa medru ba bi na chese ahokyira ba wiase nyina yare ba ye ne ade na wo hwe mampani Akufo-Addo leadership ɛyɛ friend say skills or display ye any vision and the kura ne se mampani de boy na won na save Ghana ma Ghana yanko kiyasum ama Ghana se be yanko top bum Ghana yangu ayeda so atise atiase sabri krofo se na sem na se emodudo ebi chese da bi eno an sanse mampani modemo a wabo e free covid time eba no chese ampa oye mampani a owani so de hu ye di san komo no we de ma mention sem free ho ade na efa the next 10 minutes bi na yenhwe asema Alexander Afenyo Marcus eka kwan mampani fa so e control covid we kuruma say boa ye ma ye nsu free ma ye nkane free ma ye aduane chese enima bebrebe ene course covid time covid ye chi nso niema mampani aya ne economy na yesan so eba kakrakra I know say
dio ala she woni my emphasis in fi baby and from where de bi aya na me man faton bi in na yeko school
yeah
yet studio high obi anim say 1 + 1 = 2 and obi an so nim say so we go school na yese onya 40 me say obi nya 20 ha you say na onya 40 no abone homodin yes sir
yeah
any one negative indicators and also in the sign apart from say actual exams mass your cultural mass your mass in year no we nya 40 and I we nya 40 me nya 20 obi anim say abon homodin same so also na ye ba na your exams ni we na afi ye terminal report ni we a so class na omo ye 70 no ade on in mu 60 and me bra opinion say una mu 10 60 na was through and a 10 work for more baba ko ye simbako 60 na ye emi wa 10 na ye 60 na yes sir
yeah
okay o before mine and open na mo Joy Prime na ye show no na MPP rep na wo no o say oh Nana Akufo-Addo his excellency wa born home na chrono is on the right direction say right direction pa adanya Ghana dumso 4 years yama Ghana for bre every year bia every month bia na lose almost 2 billion Ghana cedis at the time dumso time pure water for nya block infant nyama so baba kasa ya wiem kasa one no cry because the truth of the matter is that na crisis yenya how but name one say drive bia nim say who be to car also on your insurance aden say na be ya bibi towa ya nye bi dia ma ye bu maya what we call insurance any plans are awarded to her ehwe wenim obi ani ho a be fa ko wona obetena so aka che say wanda on na ndwene ho on plan for se bibi esia ene na sebe na hu nya sebe ma o man no because bibi atimi si mama can not say President Akufo-Addo son hair or the movie Rollins said the movie mama can in the late 60s AC mama can John Dramani Mahama time no ka se be gina so ahwe show after baba phone to me ejuma pure water for count me ton pure water amount for businesses are collapse gold sebe dropped on the international market oil prices a drop in international market sebe sikakra ye the better fuel e their power plants can e bi ni o after sao hiring nano obi decide say meye bibi it mean ma ato abo they say yan solve the problem once and for all because there are 3 crises ato abo ni dikan na to so millionaire say solve the issue of sikasem so you be ma bibi a friend ESLA Energy Sector Levy Act and no 4 years 5 years na e car na ye din na ye tia baby na to so me say you say it mean solve sa energy crisis you say it mean increase capacity nti amam capacity now no na metie omo energy minister no so capacity na NDC for jai no we have grown into it say ye nyin say ye use sisia because obi atena sa adwen ho say in the next few years no e was say yetimi ye bibi to ho ansa na in next 7 years ya ba bedu a ye hu dede kamo so na mu dibi ato ho sa na ye no nyi ekoyinim kakra when in echi no o wie no sama o bibi a ye frɛ no sinking fund Omao Esla, Omao Heritage Fund, Omao Stabilization Fund. Sanyemi now ye no. Osaja o dollar 4.2. Abba. Let's answer that dream. Share we ja dollar 4.2. Crisis here mu ye dede amuka say dum so move bi da. Oja dollar 4.2. Even with the crisis 4.2. Obi eni hwa o ma John Dramani Mahama sika doing dum so say Jennifer Cotton plant. Okay. America almost say ni ye hu sika because na ni bi. Te catch man say we power your power we dey talk na bra be man. You need scan be. When in 18 we're able to leave you dollar at what? At 4.2. Inflation. When in 18 we jam inflation 8.7. And the moon 25. 8.7 25% inflation. They went papa. Okay, no problem. Dollar 4.2 and then work was 17 saba 13 and then me say I'm 13.8. 13.8 and then 4.2 they went papa. I'm asking for your marking because so what feel say essence say problem aba now management now to manage you know baby I woni ye konye now feel say why ya dia then me catch say won ye hwe wabon me ntia wabon ne say wo ye Jessica now in fact stabilization fund now ko yi sika when COVID hit us the first place I call obi atena say adwun ma insurance na ko yi sika almost $200 million and when they started COVID hunsem the whole we are say SRB 30 billion 30 nana and you one and you two and you three 30 billion Ghana cedis 30 billion no we say when you sum 12 billion wow finance minister say when you sum 12 billion the abuwa mine eka 18 billion we say I am faso awenya only year budget support the COVID now we did the design at least we have problem near choose ka one echo biska for the and you know one fan yo is only light now with the mine no wo sa charge your COVID levy you go to akopemene
yeah
we are papa we are right direction we nana me friend to her lending rate when you now we say ya born na yin hwe ya born ya to say you mean yes dia we trim no is our lending rate 26 and now we almost 40 subhanallah share industry and I will say one district one factory why they did that you did an industry and a private industry and you supporting businesses that the industry you mauja industry at 4.3 oh you negative 1.2 as of last year you jaw construction 8.4 oh you negative 5 construction
can't be rebellion a year way
construction negative 5 so what I say we about che ya mama yan kanokre na no na metie we say oh ena the way o mine say aye no baby o mine aye akakodu sisi ano ena e wo say wo check percentages me co circle na me ko hu sa za barma fo na me ba be check dollar depreciation obi eni ho calculating in percentages ma me nominal figures okra $100 okwa ye be mo 1370
see omo ya no omo kire mu say wo hwe America wo hwe UK wo hwe Canada hwe omo nyina enema kosro ntinye Ghana fo nko a
no min die chinye asema mi san say asema mi san say under the NDC team you want team here problems are here and all of that and every time I keep telling people say I'm focused and I'm say oh and I say mo dey say doom so pena munya and I doom so dey when I catch you here mama ke even cho doom so is worse than COVID and I'll tell you why so what in you see la Tema General Hospital and call me now movie and what almost say dey ku light off me wa light off okay so imagine say COVID by nanka you need light na yeah 12 hours 24 hours we dem by 3 days and now I be dem by 4 days be without koma yigu ye nyene sanka nje tonye no because we show musuban ni omo ye ya wonjen ujun ha wonte ase sanka nye tonye ni na to omo a koma negu because we na COVID free we light is so investment aye wo energy sector nti we light is so we buy so be inherit IMF program 2018 IMF if you honum no na was at the we smoothest level if you 2019 2020 once about me on economy you see Mr. Digital
say free banana
2019 COVID no Mr. Digital, because we win smoothest level. I feel there your corner ko busia na abe watch ni edidi. No munim say mreba. 400 sika John Dramani Mahama inyaye. So offer to etwa ye jeje. Offer revenue say the boom ni na do 400 billion. Because you had about 246 billion in terms of revenue. And when you have 122 billion in terms of loans ay jeje. You do 400. Do you know say revenue and Kofi Haji we're running into 900 billion. Loans 600 for boom.
Would be a year of rules.
Hey, Nana, okay, no. Now, no, what to say, Ashanti Regional Minister, Yebusan with TV, so Yebusan say, what they mention project Bienumi, I said, Biamoyo Ashanti, what now, or you say, what now was by office name, Mama data. Bookman, all can know himself, interview. I can mention Ashanti Region, I can mention what John Dramani Mahama did, off head. But Medimanusi no share in simple terms. What did John Dramani Mahama 3.5 years as vice presidential candidate, as vice president of the Republic of Ghana, from 2009 copying late 2011 and 2012 more and Sunday elections. What did Sani 3.5 years no etuto Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia 7-8 years still Mahmoud Bawumia abon. Under John Dramani Mahama as of 2011 we were doing single digit inflation. Bawumia has still not succeeded. Under John Dramani Mahama as of 2011 not dollar 1 cedi 50 as vice president not dollar 1 cedi 50 pesos 1 cedi 50 pesos. Kofano 1 cedi 20 pesos 30 pesos na account in 3.5 years. When I'm 13, 17.
Or yeah, digitization, or yeah.
Digitization about me, who did you know? And then, Nana, programming laptop, you man, why? Not many exercise be upon. Digitization, no. We did the John Dramani Mahama, yeah. So we did John Mahama, a Juma, or yeah, we did free Honoma, MPP, Baumia, only be a genaso. We didn't end this year. And this is our laptop. That's what the NDC did. We set the basics. We see data center for building state. You build a data center for a reason. Yeah. You lose power and the power set also. And you lose power now buy. Oh buy no. Nya can say laptop here media ma we say bia shemo. Nya can say the software is better to so. And no into me am the laptop na ma no. Anyone wa akọji pen drive enya software we dey to so no. We say me ni nyansa ba wo nyansa.
Me da say there say o de esi wo mamenko na yenua kafu nso emfa ne de entoa so after covid and some by say nso ni kane amode che kra masa agema de ilevi by niema bebrebe sika amaje bosi amaje nyina still na yetumi akase mampani ene na be de akira manage yen yie ewo world crisis e by mu ama yetumi akase ampa ne modern mo na amaga na eti ba bia eti.
Nana mi da se bebre. I think say nkomo ya yedi e nkomo a pa because the honorable Afenyo Kensey Kano he wants to tell Ghanaians say measure adwuma his excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo baby aye fa o man ni fie aye di o man ya bedua apart from crisis I hate yen all person kire yen say out of that crisis a kwan ya o man pani fa so a wo gina ye e de je Ghana for free mo no. It is not something that you are able to look down on. Nana, I think say menua Adele wa ye we bebre afani we no, and then what he was trying to talk about was Dumso. Dumso was a self-inflicted problem. So wow ko for how no e de benyen tan yikum. Now pesa wo kire and say Dumso is not a pandemic. Endemic ye nya ye wo ha ye correla in 2014 omo ntumi amanage 2014 correla kum enipa se nkokọ omo ntumi amanage. You see where
Ebola so ba omo so manage bi ama
Ebola never cross borders so Ebola by no and cross when no man mo he never entered because Ghana did not report a single case of Ebola. He reported me. What we saw was cholera that was endemic. Dumso self-inflicted, and nobody told you so. And they end up boasting themselves that they left this, they did this, they did this, they did this. Nana, in all that aspect, when we were going through Dumso, Anna Ghana for one of them, they will end this for a attempt. They disrespected Ghanaians. And then what the president then, John Dramani Mahama, could tell us was that your phones are you use and I'm a doom so about you tell us you were able to manage it. And therefore Ghana for more than some amount.
Send the note says a beer, your phones so maybe we can manage and then
NDC is fond of this insult. Some Ghana for when we did attempt. It's part of their trademark. And I can give you several of these counts. Nana, I was happy he was talking about dollar, free ha, do ha, de ko ha. So we compare free President Kufuor Oja 1.2. Also the baby 4.2. Nana, in any case, Ghana started calling him and manage that. He started calling him no. Yenti ma ye chida. Enti ye share time wa crisis ebe hete yen. Na baby a ede ye koye na yenya omampani a sebe na nisu adi hunu. He has to quickly organize and make sure that timemufuo ebenya hoto. Nana uktie NDC for no mo kasa. As a President Mills, nyame edini bedi o man so wanye hweda. And they beat their chest to everything. And everything is bequeathed to JDM. Nana, President Mills onya ni so adi hunu so adi besi University of Ghana Medical Hospital. Our shasia sabi went to me nyame to ne nsade frɛ no. Nanka fena fese oba otumrika nkobeso ni nufu mu anya tie beti agunti o. John Dramani Mahama ntumi anwie. Oja UGMC tontrowa. He couldn't put it into use. And you hear NDC when they are talking say emrap COVID the buy no adwuma omo ye enema health minister then ekoda UGMC nana yanka say there was no UGMC. There was an infunctional UGMC because the OC hospital ni wie na enye adwuma untumi mfa mo hosafone. Somebody will have to come to make sure that it is well activated. These and other things is what we speak about. When we came in, you say nyuma emwa yemre during COVID time, enyuma emwa yemre, and therefore President at his wisdom use MBSSI to ensure that enyuma or the kranka ebeshishe enyuma. That is the cap business supporter nana odebaye. You see, this is where leader picking in community free. Na say ye ban neck to neck. Say adwuma ya wo memu ha. Say ye beka. Say he was talking about infrastructure. Say you see infrastructure anyway a -5%. I'm surprised where he gets his figures. Eyeme nwanwa baby nana ye nimu hwe kura no. Ye nimu say dokono ase ahye de aben. Nana, if you take infrastructure, me do fa kumasi kwan yiso a. Pokuase ye extension wo ho. Nana, o sensi ho no mo a, emra President Kufuor kono. Wen hu adwuma bia ye no, oye na adwene se nkopeso oye do carriage di free Accra ko kumasi meboa. Ye di ja won no mo ehunu so hwe. Even ekwan ya wi a suhum kura no overhead na nke so mu etumi to aso ne awie no nana omu gyaye monchimonka ino omu gyaye. It has to take His Excellency President Nana Addo Akufo-Addo to come and complete and finish it up. Nana, I am happy. Say oka say omo ba ye ombe ye we. And nese meka say President Akufo-Addo ba ye hu hwe kura no and the pokwase interchange you know. It's there for all to see. They will tell us that yen yakwaji is kane ba ye.
Which is true, Anna.
Nana yenda auto. But governance is continuous meboa. Amebu enyanto aso. Sane be ya obi hye bibia se a wobetumi awie. Nana no kure ho ne say President Kufuor no onya ni so ade hunu bi say me pesen ka me see hospitals insia bi. Ana matuni din say matem ne say Irojet Hospital project. Enti no minyaye anka meye fofia antwata ena President Kufuor di fi amemwe so. Ena ye jama and fusi for so momra meto aso. President Mills meye ne de. Omo baaye no. JDM to a President Mills die so ono so be di ne de ya o de koye no. Irojet hospitals you omo antumi anwe. Feria eni omumunti no omo tumi fa camera no mo de akogina hospitals no so no mu bisa the entire hospitals ni ntumi complete here. You had all the 8 years to complete na went to me and complete. Ye buy kwan ya no mo gya to wa o ka say ye wo -5% baby ono kwan nya me figure e no no obeka no ho asem o kwan yo mo gya ye nyina na ye bese na nanka watade fita ya nka me no the best studio hey nka bedu harum na ye ko. The legacy of JDM was that everybody in this country had code because kwan no mu so, and now you have more tarred roads. The legacy we left, Nana, and the President Akufo-Addo kwa a big dinechi. When we, you see, adie bia ya de bebe bia no, they are saying is that enya possible, and then they will do several demonstrations against it. Now Kai and Free SHS, there were several demonstrations. They said it was not possible, and the Free SHS has turned a lot of students. STEM schools, Nana, and then Oko Kumasi as our girls' schools, no, Omodi Akwakoji award. We are building a country that will live after itself, and then benefit 90 CDJ legacy debts. Osi wo solve dun so. Nana yeti o memu hey. Media de na minimum ni say me constituency. Ye wo baby e friend mbome. Ye wo baby e friend Kwame Dotto. Oni light, ohun light da. Ohun light da no. Yeti krom ha mako jeje plants e de aba ba kokura na wo mu a ye sentwa mu a enye sebe we age in ejina mu a nke kofa judgment debt bre yen eye GCGC ni machine na mode ba no na ye home use machine enti na Ghana fo se sebe ye hian na abrosam wo mu ne se machine a obi ya use aye dada wo yi ato atwene no eno na mo be kwa kofa abre yen
Matifo anu sima me na yento aso
na mo kofa ba ye ena mo sensan IPCs te sese ne mutiri ni ho na mo ja ka gu ho eno na ma Frank Laporte e be ka kire say o hawa President Akufo-Addo beto ya sebe na memo penti o man to me agina ne ntoma paso no was a lot of this IPPCs
but that contract ni yase bu o ba bi o mo moto aso na bo aye ma ye kan yanse meeting na ye
you see ebi o hwa ya to aso ebi o hwa we need to talk to review ebi o hwa ma na ehun nya because dana yantiase say wako sign power take or pay yen ka say nyo but wako power be go say take or pay and your intention is that even you are not looking at expanding locally but you are looking of exporting
Matifo anu
these
sima
were the issues and it's a wo hwe adwuma akoso wo maimu ene ensem a abeba na me de manu sikura no na wo ka lending rate ye wo kromo ha we saw the worst form of lending rate anana enuma kotodwemu ayemre we never complained We endured in addition to doing so. We never complained.
That's it. Kafi Amega, MPP, communication team member.
Quick rebuttal.
To the quick one, Ebano. Yembenason, or bear say 4 minutes behind, so the Becca, and 3 minutes behind the Becca, Segremy.
Don't worry. With a quick rebuttal. Pacho, me Kennedy Japan. Me tell you, Kennedy. Your friend is there. Pacho Kennedy called TV so can say some useless kind of government are buying here Kumintino. He's ended up losing his money. I'm kind. Okay, so we lose almost how many $1 million? For $2 million or $3 million 1 day. Also, sorry, I'm no partner. We lose about $2 million. But when I'm kind. To the be share. Also then, also lending rate. I think ukra phone, be phone na check. Until Musa says school na omo any school na yekon. Minim say different. Minim say omo dey no. Because mintia say e be omo school no mass na ye chiro ma different. Omo kwa na mutimi chiro say lending rate 26%, any 40, 35 e 40. You see 40 na eye. What you so ukobobusia, NDC time ukobobusia. Ukoji 10 million. You see in si ho a obetua wo so no. 260 million. 26. 260 Ghana cedis. My make what I say. Waji busia 10 million. In si ho 26 Ghana, 260 Ghana. And awo bukoji busia 10 million. In si ho a obetua no 35, almost 350 equal 400 Ghana cedis. Me why na here? What do you to papa? I've mentioned figures to you. You have not disputed it. Into who can say contraction one -5 and make us over because oh yeah -2 and -5 I don't which are true.
Into the fast agreement.
Maybe I'll come to it. Maybe you been able to agreement there will come why? Saglement has been under their roof for 7 years.
Yeah.
And then upon come back say President Akache say money go waste. When you have $50 million, they are called useless pit. Be when I was listening to this thing talking about it. $50 million. That is how much I was spending. Useless pit. That National Cathedral pit.
He's using the word he was using. Which thing talking about it? Let him correct himself.
Can you?
No,
I said
he said he
has gotten
this thing talking about it. Which thing?
No,
I said no. I wasn't referring to you.
No.
I said when I was coming.
You see,
I heard what you call it. Your friend is saying
Wafa.
So don't say this thing.
No.
Maybe man can want somebody you want it.
Oh, you don't understand.
I was listening to this thing.
I was listen.
Oh, you know who but it's my duty to correct him. That offer wording.
No, the issue is I think say God asema
o man infe kufu onya ni submission.
Asema o kan the same asema na offer can maybe
on ohu bibi aka nti say another be fa no.
Oh that be o.
Asema make o dey no problem o dey hear so.
So correct yourself.
Okay, you mate. Me say say na wofa.
Pepe.
Yedin I heard Wafa talking about that useless thing. That's what I want to do. I meant to say when I pointed here talking about that useless thing. And you Wafa na me anything. Wafa no problem if I'm on. My make answer say, "With $50 million a cup boom." Oh, catch him and say, "Would the $100 million eko shesagle me wa say sika but we no hear then. We na sika say." And you know the funny thing, Sir Pete no apart from 50 na why no. Crosses I share contract ni chire say every year be sebe. One sumama yenye project, as we speak, you owe another $50 million in terms of expenses on why you won't try. So $100 million. So I said, I know I got me exactly. Jano putum chena min can be binchro. Or say then, Nani, and I doom so, and I self-inflicted, and I blend and me President Kufonso is self-inflicted. Kufor time 2007 2008. Doom so na idea mun Kufona de ko buy. Kufona ko buy. Sagli with the me. Okay. Bibi ni go biom. Okay, no problem. Your friend is saying, and doom so, and a present. Wunya doom so and the Kufor Muko Jida Kosumu na mo bompae. A bompae sa share my menka binchiro opia sorry anopa. A common woman. Koda sorry for an opaco menu. Men sorry konko page man yankopo on sim me man kola idiane. Wow, sebi wo dwin kwechire bia wonim se wo sorry. Muna adum so no na makoso mo na mo bompai ye gina hono passage na dam ne ho nyame o obi aba be siege wa Mary no tugwe ala na wo yisu wo so take and pay and this was sign wo buy car power na wo say nya papa no why extend no what the same account 10 years account sir you've made it 15 years with the same take or pay where you from me bisa we yefrim dia no we yefrim nyewo tema nyewo tema
so from you
engas tema dia mo ba ya mo sign here na take up ni bi ni tima na mo di atro se ya wo so ya na wo ko pokwa se interchange o so ye ba ya be ka so na ye na agi scan to na ona agi scan to ona agi to ho. Another issue, the issue of maybe in London. Oh, Nyabacha. Hey, you sorry. UGMC. Mama London, UGMC. Chairman hospital. Oh, buy if you time I'll buy. Back what we see away. Give me it. The one I will see. Ah, some men are okay. They say, who buy ye? Who buy? I will see ye. When you do. And you did because of time. Rich especially one here. Bank of Ghana has one here. Don't know why district hospital one here. From now expansion. I say to you, your whole regional minister, the hospital, see how they can afford the correct. Nana, and you do the mic. Nana, the west form of ridge extension. Nana, there be some of us. Nana, the Damashagan. I don't know. I don't know. Nana, the west at them dear or the Asha Ghana foot is that ridge extension, you know, the or they share a new hormone, and no, they born who as half in you. The or they share new hormone, saying, now read your qua, any more structure, no, yeah, you know, I don't know, they born who's half in it. Nana, apart from other Kawanu tomb, now Casaname Waha, my edi, just said, you know. Or hammer so or name someone call yan time called Becca. Nana, yeah, quiet him. Name someone walking in Nano. Nana or Sidum so. President Kufuor's doom so is not what we expect we experience under John Dramani Mahama. The worst form, the insult, the agony, the Ghana for home. Nana, this is what we experience under them. Adibuana enim, ene niema e course. Nana, all ka sagleme ensem. Sagleme ensem wa okay nyina no. Nana, you had the money. Sika omu nya ye ni nyina no nana. Omu di sika ni nyina etwa wanum. They were supposed to do 5,000. They did a part 3,005. And na omu jina wa na omo bo omo nsem se Ghana fo nto nyom mfrɛ for what? Apart from that, Nana, okapokwasi interchange say ye buy no omo di sika to nana ye di sika gya obi a oye nyansafo a obetumi di aye adwuma enye obi oye bedi wa a wo di sika gya no adwuma na da ho eye so obey no nana ye buy na sika da ho for tema runabout. The work has been done. The extension was done. Eguso ekonenim. Nobody has spoken about it. But ye this ikeja amono eden ye meja meden na mutumi ye.
Edia na mompesika anyes agreement na daso da ho 7 years ni ye ho.
Nana, you see amemu no se oba na se adwuma wo ho no mo a eniema e wo ho no enkyire bi ye wo ho no uyifiri ho ansa. They looked for money. They wanted to do 5,000. They did 1,005. Whatever it is, we will have to look into it. Nana, me hey, Ubisamia, I am not a proponent of the fact that Segreme must go into the hands of a private person, because even government workers are looking for accommodation. If you ask me of my candid opinion about Seglema, what I will tell you is Seglema can't be handled in common farmer police service no mon continue no mun no mon concotrem but Seglema no krana na yete ye no se wo kwaye Seglema na auxiliary niema na wo ho no onye ya e ho mo ntumi nyusu. Because the past in America say, the past works and housing minister. Oh, Nana, so you say the awanya. Oh, your time na so we. Time na so ye. Aka 1 minute. Nana, aka 1 minute.
We dey run up and here.
Eti na me dey run up. So ne kasa yawa. Nana, Seglema mo ye no. Mo anyi drainages. Mo anye bibia wo ho. Abro ne beye. ɛna ahyɛ NDC for no sɛ no komoa na sɛ ɛnhyɛ mo sɛ no komoa nka wo kɔfa running mate or supervise on where there was no chalk.
Me that say. Okay. I was here top 103.1.
Na so the neighbor would be an
document
because is it part of we no eka ho nana eka ni enu it's my problem because we are here on it it is your point there yam because it na your point ya na hu nsem bi ani ho because omo ni hwe om de be kire wa ha omo ni hwe om de be kire wa ha obedo wa ni wa na na no wa fa ne time anya no wa
me time na so
ada no am fa ne time
na so here 9 na boy dasi
o tu man seconds kura na say na me so 30 seconds ani na me so 30 seconds
no problem ye wi a che na document e kura wi NDC time
na say na document you be document anu akwa print ya ben na we on akwa print ya ben na we ba be we it doesn't work on anything and fly we wa ade on akwa print ya ba there should be a base and a source
also mami kasa
there should be a base and a source and once it doesn't show us the base also find any submission
mami we na kasa
find any submission
services
and all find any submission and there be person to say oh for picture we ba what we find any submissions bia na Ghana card om to me ye oba to me anya Ghana card
phone so awol bo ame
oba to me anya Ghana card
say services the problem GH
na me the Ghana card oba to me anya the chop person for the job na oba to me anya Ghana card na ye di jawo
aha na me demu ebesie nyame ya adoma ochina Thursday ye besan so aba na ya baba wetra so tofu ye oh me here team we biem I was here the best you are saying the show was produced by Awal Said Nafin so Philip Akuno DJ Classic say a technician on duty just said your call Facebook and YouTube the frame the Senator Anajim Berima don't do your best answer share be you don't say Adele NDC communication team member afi Kafu Amegan so ye NPP communication team member yadama say yame yadum be sanso share bi baba